Frogger on the intro. Valiant and ballistic, banana making all the things. Dragonate in the box. Hidden Forces is a robot. Daddy want you to donate. Reptilians is spawning shit in real time. Fabiano and Patriziana. We are so reboot. We are so reboot. Oh, yeah. White's broke everything.
I don't know what that last part was. And the end of the intro got turned into like sort of gobbledygook. It was supposed to say Voxel Reboot and then Piers, and then I don't know. It like didn't interpret it correctly. Anyway, what's up, everybody? It's Rizzle. We got an awesome whip to sort of end the summer series here, and feels like back at home in Crypto Voxels. I did just drop the link in Discord here. If you're listening to me now, we are in the general channel of Discord. If you're getting double audio, make sure you're muting a tab if you're somewhere else as well. But that's where all the action's going down. And in theory, we're streaming everywhere right now over Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, X, whatever. And actually all of that broke last week, and we ended up with a nice sized crowd because we sort of forced everyone's hand into Discord. But if you're lurking, shout out to the lurkers. You should still hop into Crypto Voxels. Yes, yo, thank you, Dragonade. It's working today. Not DCL, whatever. We can't not break something. Yeah, but Crypto Voxels is working nice and smooth. So please check the link in general channel. And get ready to pile in there. Pierce has got a lot of really dope updates. A lot of people who have been with us for a long time have spent a lot of time and energy in Crypto Voxels, and so it's going to be cool to sort of come back home and see what's been cooking over here. And the short answer is a lot. So I think this is going to be a really exciting one. So let me get through a little bit of housekeeping stuff, and then I'll pass the mic over to Pierce, and he can tell us what's going on here. Let's see. Important thing, Fabiano and Patrizia made these incredible rats on ladders. They're NFTs and GLBs. It's a gift that's going out to y'all. So please go to the WIPmeetup.com. In the top right-hand corner, there's a guest book button. It works. Oh, yes. Thank you, Valiant. Valiant proved that it worked. It's been working for weeks, as well as the newsletter and like all this automated shit we built. So kudos to us and you. It actually streamlines the guest book process, and then we can get you the gifts and the WIP coin for attending each week in a much better way. So go check that out. I see people starting to drive around and everything. This is gonna be so dope. These are a lot of money's hover vehicles that have never actually come to life until very recently. Anyway, I digress. I'll let Pierce cover that. Let's see. If you check out the WIP Meetup website, you scroll down, you can go to the Trinity Lab site. It's a whole wormhole in itself, but that's where you can stake your WIP coin and you earn rewards of other tokens. And it's a pretty cool flywheel. So check that out. Stake your WIP coin, earn stuff for just hanging out with us and doing nothing. If you like what we do, or you somehow make a bag on that, it hasn't worked for any of us yet, but we're still staking. You can donate to us through this cool little app that Tati made, and it allows you to send us money in various ways. And if you like that app and don't feel like donating to us, but want to use it, contact Tati because she's a dope builder out here and part of the community. Let's see, I'm almost done. Bear with me. Yes, go to the WIPmeetup.com. We're going to be gone for 2 weeks. So when you miss us, also go to the WIPmeetup.com and check out the events page, and you can catch up on all the stuff that you've missed over the last like 7 years. So, make some time. And I think that is just about everything. We will be back September 10th. We're going to a retro arcade with Big Yellow Fishes. A lot of y'all know them. They've come through and done some mashups for us and are participating in the DCL project that we were getting a deep dive into last week. So we're gonna go play video games when we get back. It's gonna be a nice chill comeback. So with that, I'm going to pass the mic over to Pierce. If you haven't hopped into Crypto Voxels yet, do so. I am not naked, but I feel like I should be. There's a lot of other naked bodies up in here. Yo, Pierce, Welcome back, man. And before I pass the mic, man, I just want to say that a lot of us, including myself, man, really appreciate the energy that's been put back into crypto voxels as of late. And updates and upgrades are such a nice thing to see. So tell us what's cooking, man. Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. First off, how's the audio sounding?
Sounds great.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you again for having me. I always love meeting up with the WIP group. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Pierce. I've been in crypto voxels for many years now. I know many of you have been there before me, but I've been in there pretty actively over the last few years and just building a relationship with the creator Ben and over the years, even as things kind of weren't working too well, and kind of just working with him on how to get it back up and going. And we call it the reboot right now. Many of us predicted that with AI coming, that metaverses are going to get supercharged, and I definitely see that right now. And right now, it's just Ben and myself and a few other contributors on Voxels, and I'm not paid. I'm just an active contributor on the GitHub. And so today I'm going to show you a few features. So I have a little, and I am streaming this into the Discord. So, if you want to just watch the Discord, you can view it there too and see my screen share. Or you can hang out in there. But the things that we're going to cover today in particular is that I'm going to show you drivables in Voxels. So you can now drive and fly around in Voxels, which is a really big deal. Womp walls, and then some of the new editing features. And these are 3 features that I created. And another time, I'll work with Rizzle and we'll actually show the streaming. We have some streaming too, but it kind of broke last minute. So we're going to kick that to another future show after the break. So let's first start talking about drivables in Voxel. So yeah, for many years, many of you in here, I know, you've created stuff, cars, and really wish that you could drive them. And it never really happened. And so, first I want to just show you a few of the cars that I've created and kind of share that, I created this Ferrari, and then I got this G-Wagon. And something cool about them is that, these are completely created using AI. And so I've worked with Claude, and, this is pretty amazing because a few versions back, the cars that were being created by AI didn't even look like cars. And I'm pretty happy with the results here. And so with that, you can now take your Megavox. So if you remember back in, even as you walk around Voxels, there's Megavoxes everywhere. Like that's where people put a lot of effort into creating these beautiful car models that I found. And so I thought, why not make the Megavoxes drivable as sort of the first way to pull people back in and give them a chance to drive their vehicles. And so how the feature works is once you upload your Megavox, and I'll just right click on the G-Wagon over here, and on my screen share, I'm showing that there's a panel open for the Megavox, and there's 2 checkboxes now that I've added in here, 2 features. And so one of the checkboxes says drivable, and so when you check that, that makes it that anyone in the world who comes into Voxels can just walk up to that car that you created, or that hovercraft, and hit the letter E, and they can drive it. So if you're walking around the world right now, kind of where we started, and you walk up to one of the cars and press the letter E, you'll hop in to the car itself. And if it's configured to drive, you'll stay kind of on the ground. But then if you configure this next option where it's flyable, it kind of turns into hovercraft mode, where you can use the space bar to go up and climb, and then B to go down. And so, yeah, I mean, people got really excited by this. It kind of spread really quickly once people saw me flying around and driving around in Voxels, and a lot of people talked about a lot of money and how he created so many cool cars, and they're all around the world. And people linked me to them, and so yeah, the 2 that are on the to the right right now. Let me restart my browser. But to the right, um, one of them is a hovercraft, and one of them is a car. And so, yeah, you can go ahead and try to drive that, and you can try to drive the Ferrari right now by just walking up to it and hitting E. And I'm gonna see if I can uncrash my browser while people try that out for a moment. So go ahead and try that out. And even if you walk down the street, you might even be able to find a motorcycle. So I'll let you have a few minutes to try driving, and only one person can drive at a time. So once you do it a little bit, once you hop out by hitting E again and let somebody else do it. So give it just a minute there while I recover my screen. Yeah, let me check into general to see if anyone is saying anything while I'm at it.
Dude, I was just saying, this is such a massive upgrade, man. What are there parameters on like how far you can drive or
Great
like
question.
fly around?
Yeah. So, I've been trying out, Substrata and how they've been doing vehicles, and this is a little bit differently. So right now, how I have it configured is that you can drive off, and then when you eject right now, it actually returns the vehicle to where it started. And so there, I will work on some ways where you can kind of idle a little bit, like if you can hop out and kind of let the car idle a little bit. But I do like this idea that the car returns home, because then, in my opinion, you can start to like build a garage and sort of it builds energy around your parcel for people that really want to fly that thing again or drive that thing again, and then always come back to that one spot, and it kind of just auto heals itself by bringing the car back. So there is a little bit of logic in there that if you do drive it off, it comes back. I don't think the logic is working quite yet, but I did have it where like you could hop out for a little bit and it would kind of stay there. But that's kind of the thinking a lot around why it comes back to where it is versus kind of just being ditched somewhere else in the world.
Ballistic Banana is wondering if there's a button to make the models respawn, but maybe you essentially just covered that.
Oh, depending on, well, if you lost it, you can, there is a button on your parcel. You can essentially use the tree that voxels have, click on the Megavox, and then there's a button that says recall and brings it back. And all this can change. I mean, I think what we need to do is, and I have the keys to the code right now, which is pretty cool. So as people try it out, just let me know, tweet me, and I have the power now to make those changes, which is pretty cool. So yeah, give it a try, and I'm always open to feedback on any of that. Love seeing people driving around right now. It's super cool. But yeah, I mean, the first time you do it, I don't know, you'll see it, you'll feel this. But if you have a Megavox or a car in your parcel that you've always dreamed about being able to drive, I mean, it's a really fun feeling to see it finally moving after all these years around, and you should be able to kind of take it around to different islands. So essentially what it's doing is it kind of loads that parcel into your cache, and so you kind of drive that around. It used to disappear, but I kind of changed some code so that so you can drive it to different islands and stuff like that. Cool. What do you think? Should we talk about the next thing? What do you think, Grizzle? We talked about.
Yeah, dude, I'm just blown away by how cool this is. If anyone has any questions about any of this as we are just talking, feel free to drop them in the general channel and I'll relay. Dude, if and I'm not this person, but if I am someone who has a vehicle in my parcel and want to get it drivable, how is that, like sort of a manual process that you've been doing at the moment, or is there like some sort of way to get that going?
Yeah, good question. So there's no scripting required. So essentially you have your car, and I'll show you. I'll walk you through it. If you look at the screen sharing, you right click on your vehicle, and what will happen is these won't be checked by default, where it says drivable. Like, it won't be checked. So all you have to do is you hit drivable. And now I also know that everybody's cars are slightly different. So I'll check this out. This is pretty cool. So as the owner of the parcel, you just hit E and you sort of drive it, but you can configure where the person sits now that you're sitting in it. So I created this teaching UI that pops up on the bottom of the screen where, you might have to hit T to kind of face the right way, because everyone kind of maybe uploads their models a little bit differently. So you hit T to kind of get the person configured the right direction. You hit G, and what it does is it puts you into this mode where you can configure where the person sits. So if you want them to sit, actually, let's say you're from a country where they drive on the right side of the car, you can kind of position them in that seat exactly where you want. And then you hit G to save that positioning for the person to drive it. And then essentially the next person that uses the car, they could just walk up and they get placed exactly where you've configured them to sit. So, I've seen people that have taken guitar models and they wanted to have they wanted to drive a guitar. And so they kind of position themselves sitting on the front of the guitar head, and they're just like cruising around voxels, which is really cool. So, there's just so much creativity here. It doesn't have to be a car or a hovercraft. Voxels has always been weird. We've always embraced that weirdness to it. And so, if you've ever wanted to drive a wearable that you have, you can, upload that Vox model and configure it to drive around for the first time ever. If you ever wanted to drive that chain that you made, Rizzle, you can do that now.
Oh my God, Ballistic Banana just is like, we can do animals too. Can we do animals too?
Yeah.
And then I guess okay, so I could ride my Caterpillar, right? I assume this is very, very cool. I've always wanted to do that. This giant Caterpillar Fabiano made that I drag around with me. But can you, is there animation, or can there be animation? Like, say, for example, can the car wheels spin? Is that something that can be incorporated into this, or they basically have to be static models for now?
Yeah, it's a good question. This kind of came out last week, kind of as a proof of concept, and I think Ben got really excited about it, and he started thinking about how maybe you can have wheels that multiple box models that come together. It could happen. It's not there yet. There is something nice about the simplicity of sort of the incarnation of it is, but I agree, animation would be cooler with it and stuff like that. Maybe in the future. I think right now it's a Megavox. Maybe there'll be a new feature called vehicle that you add in voxels, and maybe then it'll give you that that ability. I think a lot of what I'm doing is kind of with the help of AI. I've been living and breathing voxels, and I know that there are these features that really people that have been around in the space have really wanted for a really long time. And so I'm just trying to tackle some of them to just bring that energy back in, and I think it can always grow. So yeah, I wouldn't say never. At the moment though, it is just kind of a static Vox model.
No, this is cool, man, and it's just exciting to see this happening, and then of course think of the possibilities, even building on this and everything, man. But there is something really, really great about seeing a lot of money hovercars actually flying around in here. That I don't know, that it feels even better than I thought it was going to. So, dude, appreciate this. Yes, Crypto Motors, right? They got a whole garage. If Leandro isn't on this, we got to be talking to him as well. We got to get those vehicles out and play. Pierce, this is really fucking cool, man. If any other questions come in, I'll definitely relay them to you. But a lot of good comments. Ogar is like, I've been waiting for this feature for 6 years. It's been a long time coming, man, and great to see it.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I know Ogar has done a lot of work in voxels, and I've seen a few of his models already that others have configured up, and they're really cool to see fly around and drive around. So can't wait to see more from all of you. So next up, I want to tell you about this feature that I created called Womp walls. And so, Womps have always been a really special feature that Voxels has had. I thought it was something when I first was introduced to Voxels that I thought was really unique. And, for those of you that aren't familiar with Voxels and are familiar with other metaverses, I'll kind of explain what a Womp is. So a Womp is essentially a capture in time in the metaverse, and it's saved as an image with metadata around who captured it, as well as the location. And you can click on a Womp image and it will take you back to that location. But, when you come back to that location, right, the metaverse evolves and changes and grows. And so Womps are really fun because, you can go back in time, you can see what an area looked like, you can revisit parties or moments where many of us have come together and Womp. So yeah, definitely Womp today, hit the letter P and pick a few Womps because, this is a moment in time. And so we definitely need to capture that. But I thought about, each parcel should have a way where it's almost like its own Instagram. And so that's where the concept of a Womp wall came from. So I'm going to show you on the screen sharing now how to add a Womp wall. So, the fast way is to hit the tab key to hit add. Again, this is just for me, the parcel owner. So don't kind of do these things while I'm telling you, but I'm just going to show you how you do it as a parcel owner, or you can hit add. And that opens up the sidebar here. And there's a new feature here in the list called Womp wall. And you can just click on Womp wall and you can place it just like an image. And let me scale it so you can see it a little bit better before we look at it together. Let me look up at it. And if you're in the world, you can get it's on the backstage. But what you see is that it puts together your last 4 Womps for that parcel. So as people Womp, it will update the Womp wall. And this is a way in which, again, I look at this as like a parcel Instagram. And you can click on them and you can see them larger. And then you can use the arrow keys to look through all the moments that have happened on that parcel. And so, I think this is just a really cool feature to kind of just, again, add more social proof of that something has happened in this space. Because sometimes, yeah, right, you go to a parcel and it doesn't look like, the world is dead, but that's what the Womps show you, is that there's evidence that stuff has happened here. And the Womp wall is a great way to add to your parcel to kind of show and really highlight all of the, see, look at it, there's Rizzle back in the day as I'm looking at the Womp wall. So yeah, simple feature, but I think it has a lot of power because it lets you from the parcel relive the past.
Piers, Ogar had the exact same thought that I did. Is that retroactive? Like, if someone had a bunch of Womps taken in their parcel and they were to incorporate the Womp wall, would it populate the ones from the past as well, or is it like just ones you incorporate as the ones moving forward?
All the ones in the past are there. So it shows the last 6, but if you use the arrow keys and go back, it shows you all the ones. So I have, on this parcel, I have 130 Womps that you can go through as you kind of just go back in, with the arrow keys. It's really cool. So yeah, definitely put one on your parcel, and you'll surprise yourself to just relive some of those memories.
Dude, this is really cool. I mean, the WIP has hosted events in a lot of different parcels, some of which we still have ownership rights of, the Token Smart Amphitheater and the Token Smart Lounge, and I have my apartment, and like all these places have hosted events and probably have tons of Womps that have been taken in them. I mean, I know they do, but never really been. This is a really cool way of consolidating this information, man, in like one place and everything. Because Womps were just sort of like, at least to me, seemed like they were just sort of existing out there, but you had to like sort of crawl through them, and I would see them posted on social media every now and again, but having them all compiled specific to the parcel in this way is really fucking cool, dude.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And yeah, I think we really got to give Ben credit that he cared about all of these image assets from the entire history of crypto voxels, and he's been keeping them safe, and so that we can do experiences like this that look, all the way from the beginning of voxels, which is, really special.
Dude, 100% is a really, I feel like this is the cars were more of a obvious upgrade or update to me, but this was a nice, specific to this project, thinking outside the box upgrade, man. It's really cool to see. Ogar has a slightly unrelated question, but you're the CV guy here, man. So you got it. He says, "Hey Pierce, what's up with Architect Island? Most of my builds are fucked up. Is there a way we could fix that? I have all the files and models to make it as it was."
Yeah, Architect Island, that was quite the project. I wasn't on the inside as much then, but yeah, a lot of the builds I noticed had source files to Dropbox, which wasn't the most ideal way to host Vox files. Let's talk Ogar and let's see which ones in particular we can try to fix again. But yeah, that didn't. There should have probably been some other rules in place for how files were hosted. I know that's why a lot of the parcels in particular, some of them are messed up.
Ogar's here to take that shit to DMs. He's got all the details. Thank you, Pierce. Dude, please feel free to continue if there's more updates that you had to give. Otherwise, I got a bunch of questions for you, and if anyone else has some, please continue to drop them in the general channel.
Okay, I have more, but save the questions because we have plenty of time for questions. So the next feature that I wanted to show you all was around image editing and NFT editing. So, if you've been in voxels and you've been moving images and NFTs around, you're very aware that there's kind of two main ways to move things around. One is to use what we call the gizmo with the little arrows in there, and you kind of drag up, and then you drag a little to the left, and then you drag a little to the right, or you drag a little down, and you kind of drag the other one to do depth, or you sit in the properties pane and you kind of arrow away or use your scroll wheel. And, the other day I was just like, man, I feel like there could be a better way. I love doing layout in voxels. And so this was an image editing feature that's still beta, but I want to show you because I think once you feel it, I think you're going to really celebrate it. So if you look on the screen share, I'm going to add a few images really quick. Let's see if this works. I'm going to add an image, and they'll probably have to upload. Let's see if it shows up. I'm going to add another one. Let's see. Okay, let me add one more just so you get the effect. And I'm just putting these images, I'm going to be putting them on the back wall here, just kind of what we've been using for the demo. Actually, I'm going to get rid of the Womp wall for now just to make some space. And okay, well, here's part of the demo. So I have an image on the back wall. It's tiny. It's a big Tune logo. And the first thing I want to do is make it larger. So what I can do now is I can right click on it, and you'll see that there's these little boxes that appear around it. And I can just drag, and just like that, it scales it. So, before you had to hit a checkbox and kind of up arrow to scale it. So now you can just directly manipulate it by just dragging the arrows. I know, this might feel like a duh, but it wasn't like that in voxels. Now the next thing is like, I don't want it to be right there. I want it to be down a little bit. So I can just click and drag just like that. And now I'm moving the image just by dragging and dropping. Like this is a pretty big deal if you've been ever tried to move things around in voxels. This direct manipulation. Now it feels like you're editing in any modern tool like Figma or other image manipulation tools. See if I can add another one there. See, so I can just really easily just click the two images and move them very precisely where I want, just by clicking on them. This precision used to take a really long time in voxels because again, you're kind of going up on the gizmo or down and you're not able to just kind of just drag around as easily. And there is some smarts with snapping too. So if you hold the Alt key, there's smart snapping, so you can align it to the top edges. It's really easy. So you can really lay out a wall of images or NFTs a lot faster. So that's the end of that feature.
Dude, not a lot of questions on that one, but a lot of positive feedback. Yeah, I can see how you would say that it's not like the flashiest upgrade, like a flying hover car or whatever, but in terms of just being able to like easily decorate your spot for people like myself who it doesn't come super naturally to, this is a nice one. Oh, Ballistic Banana has a question. Can you move NFTs around like that too?
Yep, exactly. Here, I'll walk over to the Obey parcel. Just behind us over here. I'll go over here, and these are all NFTs on the wall. And so I can just right click on the NFT, and just like that, look at that. I'm just resizing NFTs, and I'm just dragging them, boom, right next to each other. So you can lay out your NFT wall way faster, and it's just more enjoyable. I mean, that's kind of the short of it. You'll see once you start doing it just how much easier this is, and if you remember what it was like before, you'll appreciate it. But yeah, this is one of those where this is just a more modern image moving and placement experience, and it's just really cool that I was able to help bring that to Voxel so that people can work on their layouts and enjoy it a lot more, especially as they're coming from other tools where it's just expected to be able to kind of use that way to move images around. It'll be a lot easier to onboard people then. Cool. Okay. Well, like I said, next time, we'll plan another one for the Voxel Showbox, but I will tell you a little bit about it. This is actually a really big feature that I worked on. It just kind of broke last minute, so I couldn't demo it today, but we're working on doing native streaming in crypto voxels. It's called Voxel Showbox. And so you won't need Twitch anymore. And what's special about it is that I've also created a guest sharing model, guest link sharing model, which means if you ever want to host shows in your parcel, you can just send your guest a special link. They can click on it. They automatically teleport into voxels with a start stream button, so they don't have to understand voxels immediately. They can just hit start streaming, and then they'll be in a split screen with you on the left, them on the right, and everyone that's in the parcel can watch a show that you put on. And so we're going to make it a lot easier now in voxels to do streaming and bringing in artists that maybe aren't that familiar and quite frankly, they're good at performing and they don't necessarily need to learn the ins and out of voxels, and they don't need an account. So you can just give them a link and you can bring them in, and then everyone in the metaverse can watch the show together. So more on that later.
Piers, how does that work on the back end? Like in terms of I am a person who wants to stream. Is it like a screen sharing type of setup, or like how do I plug in?
Sure. Let me see if I can do just a slight bit of the demo right now. So all you'll do is, you know, you have to have a parcel first of all. So this is a feature just for parcel owners, and then you hit the add feature button again, and there's a new feature here in the list called Showbox. So it's right underneath Boombox. It's called Showbox, and you just put it right here on the screen, just like that, and you'll see that there's a click here to go live button. And so when you want to go live, you would just click that button when it's working, and you immediately go live in the metaverse just by clicking that button. But like I said, like you can send a special link to your guests. So in the details pane right over here, there's a copy co-host link. And so you can copy that, and it copies to your clipboard a special link that you can then email or text message to your guest. And when they click on that, it will automatically bring them into the feed, into the video feed.
Got it. So this would be like a use case for someone, like let's say they wanted to stream themselves playing music or host a podcast with a video guest or something like that, and not and correct me if I'm wrong, but not necessarily like broadcasting like something like the WIP per se, like routing it through, like I don't know, reroute it through like OBS and like a whole bunch of other shit to a whole bunch of other places. So is this is this suited for that as well?
This is I would say this is so I would say this is simpler, where it's trying to you know, have voxels be the place for when you want to go live in the metaverse. That's really kind of the vision for this. So it's like if you ever want to go live in the metaverse, you do it with the Showbox, and what it does is once you go live, it puts your video on the Voxel's homepage as well. And so this becomes a way where, as an artist, yeah, if you own a parcel, like this is where you want to start doing your shows now, instead of Twitch, because the difference between going live in Voxels and Twitch is when you go live in Voxels, you have a whole stage where people can see your art, they can get links to your merch, they can, you know, it's a whole 3D experience, and that's the big differentiator. That's why I created this feature, because I think that's what sets it apart from when people ask me, well, why don't I just go live in Twitch? Well, the reason you don't is because in Voxels, you know, you get to go live in your own room that you've created, or your own studio, your virtual studio, and it has links to all of your other stuff, and it's just way more branded and cool.
Yo, it is cool, man, and I appreciate you clarifying, and also appreciate you showing up with like a whole bunch of bag of tricks, man. This is all like, you know, some fairly substantial upgrades here. Anything else you wanted to share that you've been working on?
Yeah, I think you know, what I would say is you know, people are still trying to learn that, you know, Voxels is open source. It's on GitHub, and so you know, if you are a developer, or if you're getting really good with AI and to create code, like explore it a little bit. We actually have a developer who just started his first contribution to the Voxels code base, and he's actually a open seed engineer, which is really cool. And so he's really excited to contribute, making it easier for Voxels and AI to work together even more, where you can like use AI and talk with it to basically decorate your parcel. And so, yeah, I think it's just super cool. Voxels is still going. You know, I know, you know, over the last almost year, we've had a few shut down, and it's just really exciting to see that Voxels is still up and about. And it's great to see everybody coming back in here. And yeah, I think we are on the up and up again. And you know, definitely get in there and try stuff out and have fun again, and just know that, yeah, it's always being worked on. Ben still cares about the project. You know, he works on it about 2 days a week, and the other rest of the days of the week he works on other projects to keep the lights on. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be shut down or anything. So yeah.
Okay, I have a couple of hypothetical scenarios for you. there's a subway somewhere. We were in it. We like staged as if we were riding in it. Does this lead to the possibilities of like some sort of crypto voxels monorail type of thing that people can ride around on? I feel like we're getting into really, really cool territory with this.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think, I think we've always talked about, boats and stuff like that. So like, yeah, if you go around the corner here, we actually have a boat. Here's this big yacht around the corner that I can drive. And, maybe I should next week, I should make it so that I can hold people to get them to other islands. But yeah, it definitely opens up that possibility. Again, I think, just hit me up on Twitter and let's talk about it. And I can see which ones I think Ben would be up for. I've kind of started to get a pulse there. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, this is cool, man. It just, is leading to 1,000 different ideas, right? I would love to take a ferry ride to Architecture Island, whether it's broken or not, but have it be like, like an automated ferry. And if like Ballistic Banana doesn't get on in time, he just like missed the boat because it just, sort of goes around on a loop or some shit. Anyway, man. Okay, a ridiculous hypothetical scenario, but I need to know the answer. If I steal one of your cars and I park my avatar somewhere else and just leave my avatar there in the car, can I essentially steal your vehicle indefinitely?
No, there's like Ballistic Banana was asking on the screen share right now. On the screen share, I opened it up. So if you essentially you can right click on the car as the owner, and then there's a bring back a reset to save parking spot button that I added. So you can kick people out of your car. But yeah, I would love for people to test these scenarios out, because then we can see, if it works, it doesn't. But yeah, it all takes with just people trying it out. And yeah, let me know. The other day it was kind of funny. Somebody drove, actually, I think it was one of Ogar's. It was like a wheeled car. I'm not sure the name of it that he created. And somebody drove it, and then, I don't know, they like lost it somewhere, and they were really sad. And because they thought they lost it, and, I think they were worried, they couldn't hit you in the DM and never get that model again. So they were really sad, but it was a bug. And so I was able to get into the code, and it automatically kind of came back, and they were happy. So yeah, as always, there's bugs, and just let me know. And, you can always hang out in the Discord. Remember, Voxels has a Discord, and that's the best place to post bugs. They're easier to track there than Twitter. So I know it's easy to tweet, but even when you tweet Ben, just so y'all know, like, that's not the best place for bugs. Like that goes in one ear and out the other. And so if you really care about a bug, keep it to the Discord so that it can be tracked.
This is all very cool, man, and props to you for really, breathing a lot of life into crypto voxels recently. All of this is like really, really cool to see. I just wanted a quick reminder for everyone in the audience: if you haven't signed the guest book yet, it should be open for another 15 minutes or so. So please go to the WIPmeetup.com and click on the guest book in the top right, so we can send you all the things from today. And if anyone has any questions for Pierce, please drop them in the general channel. Dude, you got a great take on crypto voxels, and also these are well thought out upgrades, and not totally random, and not something that these make sense, and they're big. And so I'm curious if there is anything else on the horizon that or maybe at the top of the list, that you really are excited working on next, in terms of upgrades or updates and everything. And if, whether there is or not, man, I'm interested to hear where you're hoping crypto voxels will be in like a year from now, because this feels like you're building in a direction that certainly enables people to, ease of access building and interacting with the vehicles and everything, but also like with the Womp wall and the showbox and everything, it feels like it's, sort of trending in like a 3D, what am I trying to say? Like social media type of experience direction, which I don't know, maybe that's been the play all along, but I'm rambling, man, but help me out, man.
Let me jump in. So yeah, I mean, I feel like I have a really good pulse on this. I've been in here, but I've also been doing these events, in-person events, where I've been, mixing music, live performance, and always trying to find ways to connect the virtual world and the physical world. That's always been something I've been experimenting with as I started with Voxels. And so, how that started off was projection, like using projection at a live event, and then using webcams with Voxels and connecting the two there. And I know many of us have done that. But a new feature that I'm in the middle of working on right now is, I've found that when working with artists, more visual artists, and trying to brainstorm with them on ways to bring the virtual world into their physical world, we've kind of come up with this concept of a gallery extension. And so what does that mean? Often a visual artist will be at a gallery and they're only given a limited amount of space. Sometimes it's one wall. Maybe sometimes it's not even one wall. They get a shared wall. And so I'm working on this concept right now with CryptoVoxels where you can, if you go to the gallery physically and the artist puts up a QR code on the wall, a person can pull out their phone, scan the QR code, and it will open up a virtual portal to a view within Voxels, and essentially unlocking that third room for the artist. So you can see the two pieces that are there, but through this doorway or this portal that opens up in Voxels, you can see the rest of the artist's works. So that's how they can connect their gallery within Voxels. And what will be interesting will be it will be a live view in the portal, and so the person what it will feel like for them is sort of, as you're looking through your camera on your phone, like there's kind of a sort of a silhouette of Voxels in there, and the people running around in Voxels are looking back at the person who will have their facing camera on. And so it will be a way in which to connect the person inside of Voxels with this sort of like peeping hole portal from outside of Voxels. So that's something that I'm working on right now.
That's cool, man. And that I feel like was always sort of how we saw the art space evolving in the context of the metaverse, but the pieces were never there to really like streamline the process. And so I think the direction they are building in with the help of AI tools, so that artists who are not inherently familiar with how all this shit works can just set something up for themselves. Yeah, man, it feels like it's all trending in that direction and everything. This is cool. Ballistic Banana. Who are all the green images? Are they people in another instance?
That's a good question. So, and Ben literally just rolled this out about a day ago, and so yeah, I'm just seeing it kind of live for the first time. But we talked about this. So, what I shared with Ben is. And we should look at this and see what we think about it. But what I mentioned to Ben is that, often when you come into an event after the fact, you don't realize that all this action has happened. And so we started brainstorming about this idea of having, if you think about Google Analytics in a website, like Google Analytics, you look at after the fact, after the visitors have been there. And so you look at like a bar chart of or a line chart, oh, there was this many people there. And there is sort of an element of live visitors now in Google Analytics. But this is that, but taking it into the virtual world where you can see the activity that has happened on that parcel within some time frame. I don't know what he has it set to, if it was 24 hours or a week or a while, but essentially what the green things are visitors from the past that are walking around, ghost visitors.
Dude, that's interesting. I sort of assumed they were like, bots or like something like that, but that's a really interesting concept in the first place, man. Dude, this is a lot of cool shit. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's kind of spooky. Yeah, it blew my mind a little bit too to think about that in the context. But it's I don't know. That's cool, man. I like the idea of leaving my mark on the space just a little bit longer than I was actually in the space, kind of thing, and people coming back to it. It's a really cool concept. Spam emote. Pierce, man, this has been fantastic, dude. Is there anything else? Anything else you wanted to share? Any links that you want to drop? Anything else that you want to put on people's radars? Feel free to let them have it.
Sure. I'll always drop the music project that I'm working on, blockchainradio.live. It's an independent Metaverse radio station that I run. If you are a music artist, if you make music, go to the site, add your music. If you want to do music, do a music show in the Metaverse, let's talk. Yeah, that's me.
Dude, really epic upgrades, updates, and like I said multiple times, man, appreciate the way you've breathed some life into Crypto Voxels recently. And we all go way back with Ben in various capacities and everything, and I've interacted with him personally a bunch of times, and I know how much he cares about this project, man, and a lot of us do as well. So really, really love to see it. If anyone has not gone to the WIPmeetup.com to sign the guest book, please make sure you do that so we can send you all the cool stuff from today's event. I dropped the link to the parcel that we're all at in the general channel, and we should absolutely hop in and take a group shot and pull up like a bunch of like a car show or something like that. So Dragonade, if you don't mind, maybe playing a couple minutes worth of music. And the stage is like right in front of you when we get in. So let's see if we can get a whole bunch of cars out on the stage and get a dope shot here at the end. Close enough. That was a good shot, Sebga. I think I'm lonely sharded. Oh no, I see some cars start to pop in, but proper chaos, at least for me at the end here. I'm surrounded by zombie green avatars by myself in a car. Yo, Pierce, thank you so much for coming through. If anyone wants to participate or has any questions for Pierce, obviously slide into the Crypto Voxels Discord. And it sounds like the doors are open for people to build on top of it. So please go check that out. Please go drive these cars around. We will be back September 10th. We're going to a retro arcade with big yellow fishes. So make sure you come through to that. Go to the WIPmeetup.com. In the meantime, when you miss us and watch all of our old stuff. And Pierce, thank you so much for coming through, man, and all the work that you've done on Crypto Voxels. All of us are fans, and I'm sure we'll be seeing you again.
Peace.
Peace.
Mashed potatoes, I want chicken, cheese. Fuck yes. Oh, cheese, 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 this is awesome, 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 Sweet dreams are made of cheese, pizza's good too, I like where this is going, yeah. Fuck yes, cheese. Kill the audio problems with fire, with fire, with fire. Death to audio problems. Lactose intolerant people, I am so sorry. Give me that cheddar. Give me that cheddar. I got carried away. We all love a good token smart song. Cheddar, cheddar, blue cheese. Better Way says cheese emoji. Random has cheese. Token smart with extra cheese. Death to audio. Audio problems. Death to audio. Audio problems. Cheddar is better. Won't go out for days. Cheese is life. Fuck yes. Oh, death to audio. Audio problems. Death to audio. Audio problems. Death to audio. A gift of cheddar cheese. Audio problem don't deserve to live. To emoji with the tongue sticking out. Emmentaler and Gruyere. That almost rhymes. Cheddar is money given now. Spend some of your cheddar on that, please. Rizzle says death to audio problems. Rizzle says death to audio. Rizzle says death to audio problems. Rizzle says death to audio. Lots of gifts of cheesy things, all up in the Discord of Token Smart. Oh, lots of gifts of cheesy things, cat with heart eyes, clap, clap, clap. Cheesesteak, cookies, hi, cheese is the best. Gifts of cats with cheese on their faces, death, death, death. The only thing we love more than cheese is gifts. The only thing is fondue. Rizzle says death to audio problems. Rizzle says death. Audio as a milk. Cheese is life. Audio problems. Cheese is dying. Oh, yeah. Yay, the little kitten says LOL. And Elmo's on fire, and Ernie's got condoms on his ears, so fire, so fire. Death to audio, death to audio, LMAO, give me some lemonade, make cheese great again. Condoms on the ears, that's what it looked like to me. Oh, death to audio problems, to audio, death to audio problems, to audio. I'm vibing, make cheese lemonade. When life gives you rotten cheese, you make cheese lemonade. So much cheese and some sriracha, some cheese and some sriracha. Me vibing big time when Rizzle coins. You make nachos, you make nachos. Love the song so dope, stuff that cheese in your face. Stuff that cheese in your face with jalapeno. With jalapeno. In your face, cheese whiz. Pickles, yes, cheese whiz. In your face, I said death to audio, to audio, oh death to audio, to audio, oh death to audio, to audio, death to audio, to audio, death to audio, audio, oh death to audio, yeah, that's it. Oh my lord. Whew. I have to turn on the fan.